Thanks, David. I think I agree with you. There's only one way we get to net zero by 2050, and we keep temperature from increases above 1.5 degrees Celsius, and it is by global collective action. Prior to the Paris meeting in 2015, the IPCC's estimate and the International Energy Agencies was that we were heading into a world where the warming would be in the order of 3.5, 3.8 degrees Celsius by 2100. More recent analysis tells us that because of everything that countries have announced and have started implementing since 2015, we're now heading into a world where the warming would be in the order of 2.3 to 2.5 degrees Celsius. So 2.3, 2.5 is much better than 3.5 or 3.8. It's still way above 1.5. So there's two lessons we can learn from that. We can bend the curve collectively. We are doing it, number one. But number two, what we're doing isn't enough. So for those who tell me in Canada that the federal government is doing too much, that we're piling on measures, I'd say what we're doing now is leading to the type of summer we've had. I mean, Nova Scotia we saw Hurricane Fiona, the most powerful hurricane we've ever seen on our Atlantic coast. And that's in the last 7 or 8 months. They've had the coldest day ever recorded in Nova Scotia, record level forest fires, and now record level floodings. So those who tell me that, we're doing too much in Canada, I say, is that the future we want for our kids and grandkids? Is that how we have a prosperous Canada, by letting climate change roam and destroy so many lives, so many livelihoods, and so many things that are dear to us? Well, my answer is no. That's not acceptable. And that's why we need to do more. That's why we need to accelerate the fight against climate change. And my hope by doing that, and I think, when we go to the G7 or the G20 or even a COP, everyone is looking at what everyone else is doing. And there's a bit of a, I'd say, a healthy competition between us. Oh, well, the US is doing that. Why aren't we doing that in Canada? And our friends from the environmental movement will be quick to point these things out to us, rightly so. And true of Europe and other international partners. So I think Canada showing up to the G20 and say, hey folks, remember in 2009, we made that collective agreement that we were going to phase out fossil fuel subsidies? Well, here's what we did in Canada. We did it 2 years earlier. This is our framework. Who wants to do better? And then maybe our framework will improve over time. We'll be even better. And that's how we get to limiting global average temperatures from surpassing 1.5 degrees Celsius.